Okay, so I'm recording, you guys. This is lesson 25. So what I was saying is today's a full class period. I don't think this is going to take too long. And then I'm going to do problems off of your tests, help you with test corrections. We can get those done and you can start your homework. So nice and calm. Okay, so there's a rule that's called the difference of squares. Okay, you guys, one thing that people do wrong on this middle sign has to be a negative. There's no rule to factor a squared plus b squared. It has to be a minus. So it looks like that, okay? So if you have that, when you factor, the answer is a plus b times a minus b, okay? So everybody look at question number 1. We're going to do this a couple of times, this extra writing here, but I'm not really going to require you do it when you do your homework, but let's just do it for now, okay? So everybody look. What to the second gives me x to the second? That's an x, right? What to the second gives me 64? Everybody talk to me. An 8, okay? So look right here. This is your a, and this is your b, because it's a squared minus b squared. So your a is an x, and your b is an 8, and you just plug it right there. So it's going to be a plus b, so that would be x plus 8, times a minus b, which is x minus 8, and that's your answer. I was trying to tell you guys this when I was reading the answers, but look right here. If someone had x minus 8 times x plus 8, that's exactly the same thing. Because if you have 2 times 3, that's exactly the same as 3 times 2. So the order doesn't matter. Okay, let's do this one right here. So let's write it as something squared minus something squared. Again, this line that I'm writing, I'm not going to require that you do it. I'm just doing it for a couple of problems, okay? What to the second gives you 25? That'd be a 5, but there's got to be more than a 5, you guys, because I'm also trying to get an s squared. So what do I put here? S is correct. Good. And then what to the second gives you t to the second? That's a t. So here's your a, and here's your b. So you go a, which is 5s, plus b, which is a t, and then a, which is 5s, minus b, which is minus t. That's your answer, and you're done. Very simple. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. Same problem, so we're going to change it. Okay, so cross that out, and I want you to write 1 minus 100 b squared. Okay? Now, everybody listen. It doesn't matter that the variable comes second. Like if you look at question 1, the s squared is first. If you look at number 1, the x squared is first. Who cares? So all you do is this. It's so simple, guys. Look. What to the second gives you 1? A 1. Put in ones. One's a plus, one's a minus. Everybody in the room tell me, what to the second gives me 100? 10. But it's not just a 10. What's got to go with the 10? A b. Good. Okay, what I want you to do is just highlight or box that answer and then don't write anymore, but I want you to listen, okay? People see this problem and they panic because they think the variable has to come first, okay? So look right here and listen. So some people will go, well, that's 10b and 10b, and one's a plus and one's a minus, and 1 and 1. But is 10b times 10b equal to 1? No. So that has to come second because the 100 comes second. It's not the same. Everybody look why it's not the same. This is important. Look, on this guy, the 1 is the positive and the 10b is a positive. On this guy, the 1's a positive and the 10b is a positive. So this and this are exactly the same. Look at this one. The 1's a positive, the 10b is a negative. The 1's a negative, the 10b's a positive. This guy right here and this guy right here are not the same. That's why the order matters, okay? Who says, I gotcha? Let me see. Okay, so don't panic if the variable's second, okay? Who cares? Okay, 100. I'm going to go like this. Do my parentheses. 100 is going to go to 10 and 10, but with that 10 goes an x. One's a plus, one's a minus. It doesn't matter if you go plus, minus, or minus, plus. And then what to the second gives you 49, everybody? 7. So simple. So simple. and you're done. Okay, question 5. Is 3b times 3b give me 16? Is that right? 3b times 3b, 16. No. What is it? 4. So this is a 4, and this is a 4, and the order matters. The 4 must come first. Okay? What did the second gives you? 9. A 3. What goes with my 3, everybody? A b. That's my answer. Okay? Now, I know this is easy. Guys, listen right here for a second. Everybody look. Okay, so I know you're listening. I know this is easy, but I also think it's good. Every once in a while, if we have an easy lesson, I think that's okay. And factoring is crucial in so much of math. So I'm just trying to take a moment to say, are we all good with factoring? Okay. Who says, I appreciate this? I want a little review. Let me see. Give me some feedback. Okay, great. Okay. Question number 6. Don't do anything yet, and let's talk about it. When you look at question number 6, what do you notice immediately when you look at it? 2 goes into both of those, right? That's what you need to do. You need to take out a 2. Can I take out any y's? Somebody talk to me about that. No, because this guy doesn't have any y's at all, right? So if I take out a 2, I'm left with y to the second minus 100, okay? If you stop right there, you're going to get 1 out of 3 points on this problem. I know, it's pretty painful. Why? What do you have to do now? You can keep factoring that, right? It's okay. Yep, you can keep going. So it's the difference of squares. So guys, the y to the second goes to a y and a y. One's a plus, one's a minus. 10 times 10 is 100. That's your answer, and I'm done. Okay? Who says gotcha? Let's see. That's easy. Okay, good. Question 7. Everybody in the room, tell me what number I can take out. Can take out a 5. Good. Now these are people. Look right here. Here's a person. Here's a person. This guy has 3 x's. This guy has 4 x's. If I take the same number of x's from each person, how many can I take out? 3. Good. Okay, this guy has 4 y's. This guy has 1 y. How many can I take out? Just 1. Okay. Now, here's an important thing. Look right here. Here's a term. Here's a term. You're always going to have the same number of terms left on the inside. So you're always going to have 2. So then go 35 divided by 5 is 7. I have 3 x's. I take them out. They're gone. I have 4 y's. I take out 1. I still have 3. 60 divided by 5 is 12. I have 4 x's. I take out 3. I still have 1. I have 1 y. I take it out. It's gone. That's my answer. I can't factor any further. That's my answer, and I'm done. Okay? Who says, easy? Let me see how you're feeling. Okay, awesome. Question 8, you tell me, what's the first step? Take out a 2, right? When you take out a 2, you're left with 2x to the second plus 5x minus 3, like that. Now, I want you to talk to me. Can I factor this using the difference of squares, what we just talked about? No. How do you know so fast? You guys said that so fast. Because I have 3 terms and difference of squares is 2 terms, okay? So you know what this is? This is last time's factoring lesson. So this 2x to the second, you guys, goes to a 2x and a plain x, okay? The signs are different. This negative tells you the signs are different. 2 numbers that multiply together to give me 3 are 3 and 1. So if I put the 3 there and the 1 there, look what happens. I get a 6 and a 1, which subtracts to give me 5. So that's it. The biggest should be the plus. Well, 6 is the biggest, so the plus goes there, the minus goes there, and that's my answer. Okay? Who says I got it? Raise your hand up high. Let me see. Okay, great. Everybody stop for just a second. Listen for a minute. Here's what I want to say to you. Last time during the video, when I was teaching you how to factor this is what I said to you. If this is a negative, the signs are different. I subtract. The biggest sign takes the biggest number takes that sign. That's how I teach factoring. If you factor well, if you're good at factoring and you don't want to use my method, you use a different method, that's great. You use whatever method you want. If you struggle with factoring, then maybe the method that you're using is not working for you, and you should try to swap over and use the method that I'm doing so that you can actually factor well. Okay, so that's my advice on factoring. Okay, here we go with question number 9. First thing I notice is both of those numbers are even. Okay, since they're both even, I know I can take out a 2. Now everybody stop for a second. Okay, everybody freeze for 2 seconds. I might be able to take out more than a 2. I don't want to sit and hunt all day and see if there's something else I can take out. So I know I can take out a 2. And once I take out a 2, I can do a little check to see if there was anything else. I'll show you the check. Okay, let's take out a 2. I can't take out any x's because the 98 doesn't have any. 162 divided by 2 is 81, x to the 8th, minus 98 divided by 2 is 49. Okay, now freeze right here. Here's the little trick. 81 and 49, is there another number that goes into those? Well, 49 is 1 and 7 and 49. 1 isn't going to do me good. Does 7 go into 81? Nope. Does 49 go into 81? Nope. 2 is the biggest I could have done. Okay. The other thing I notice, this is the difference of squares. It's perfect, right? 9 squared is 81, 7 squared is 49. So you just write your 2 down. The 81 splits to a 9 and a 9. Now, this is tricky. So look, what to the second gives me x to the 8th? You're going to want to listen to this. What to the second gives me x to the 8th? It's obviously going to be some kind of an x, right? X to the what? Do you remember? Do you add the exponents? Look right here. If you have x to the second times x to the third, is that x to the 6th or is that x to the 5th? Which one is it? Tell me. It is 6th. So you multiply. So what do I multiply by 2 to get an 8? That would be a 4. Yes. So this goes x to the 4th, x to the 4th. Then one's a plus, one's a minus. What to the second gives me 49, a 7. I can't factor any further. There's my answer and I'm done. Okay, question 10. First thing you notice, shout it out, just tell me. Even, right? 2 goes into all of them. So let's take out a 2. And you're left with 2y to the second plus y minus 15, like that. Okay, now let's keep going. Might continue further, it might continue to factor, it might not. Let's try. So the 2y to the second is going to split to a 2y and a plain y. Okay, the numbers that multiply to give me 15 are 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. That negative tells me that the signs are different and I'm subtracting. Okay, I want to end up getting this 1 right there. Okay, so if I did this, guys, look, if I did 15 and 1 like that, that would give me 30 and 1, which subtracts to give me 29. That's not it. But maybe they're reversed. So maybe the 15 is here and the 1 is there. That would give me 2 and 15, which subtracts to give me 13. So that doesn't work. So neither one of those work. So I know 1 and 15 is not my choice. Okay, so look at this one. What if I did 3 and 5? So if I did 3 there and 5 there, that would give me 6 and 5, which subtracts to give me 1, and that's what I wanted. The biggest should be the plus. So what's bigger, 6 or 5? The 6. So the plus goes here, the minus goes there, and that's my answer. Who says got it? Let's see. Okay, like I said, you don't have to use that method. If that's weird, don't do it, as long as you know how to do it otherwise. Okay, question number 11. Somebody tell me what to do first. Take out what? Take out 1a and 1b. Exactly right. Okay, so if I have, look right here, see how I have 2 terms? I'm going to have 2 terms in there. So if I have an a and I take it out, it's gone. I have 3 b's, I take out 1, I still have 2. 5 b's, take out 1, I still have 4. 4 b's, take out 1, they're gone. If you answer like that, you're going to get 1 point out of 3. We're not done. Why not? Can keep going. Difference of squares, right? So look, it's AB. The b to the second goes to a b and a b. One's a plus, one's a minus. Everybody tell me, what to the second gives me a to the 4th? A to the second. Good. Put in a to the second. a to the second. There's your answer. Done. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to start solving. Okay? Everybody just look right here. Don't write anything for a second. I'm going to talk to you for a second. Okay, look right here. I have two pieces of paper. On both of the paper, there's a number. If you can guess, or if you can guess information about my numbers, I'm going to give you money. This is not real, but it would be nice. So I have a paper. It has a number. It's folded up. It's in my hand. Same thing over here. You don't know what these numbers are. But I tell you this. If I take this number and I multiply it by this number, I get a 0. Tell me what you know.
One of them's a 0, man.
One of them has to be a 0 because it has to be a 0 in order to put, right? Could they both be 0?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 0 times 0 is a 0. So one or both of them is a 0, okay? Okay, everybody look at question 1A. I actually don't have 2 numbers on this. I have 3. I want you to see this as 3 numbers. Look right here, underline them. A 5, an x, and an x minus 4. One of those has to be 0. Can 5 be 0? Tell me that. 5 is not 0. Disregard that. If I set x equal to 0, I get x equals 0. If I set x minus 4 equal to 0 and solve it, what do I get? I get a 4. Yeah. X minus 4 equals 0. Solve it. I get a 4. And I'm done. That's it. Okay. Question B. Say it again.
Would it be negative 4?
No. Let's write it down. Everybody write down x minus 4 equals 0.
Oh,
Then bring your 4 over. X equals 4. Right? So just change the sign of what's in the middle. Okay, everybody look right here. Question B, I want you to see 4 things. Look right here. A 2, an x squared, an x plus 1, and an x minus 3. 2 is not a 0, so disregard that. The x squared gives me a solution of, everybody tell me, 0. What does the x plus 1 give me? Talk to me. Negative 1. What does the x minus 3 give me? Positive 3. And I'm not going to make you show any work in between that. You can just do that in your head. Okay? Okay, question C. Look at this, guys. You're multiplying this by this by this. 3 is not 0. The x to the third gives me a solution of, talk to me, 0, right? This is the one that's a little tricky. So look, if you said x squared minus 1 equal to 0, the 1 comes over and becomes a positive, then to get rid of the 2, you have to divide by 2, so you get 1/2. If that freaks you out, then write it down and figure it out. If you can do it in your head, do it in your head. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to do this guy. Okay, I'm going to give you a set of steps. Very simple. Step number 1, get a 0 on the right-hand side. Set it equal to 0. Step number 2, factor. Step number 3, solve. That's all you have to do. Okay? Cool. So question A, set it equal to 0. So this 3 is going to come over and become a negative. So you have minus 3. The negative 9x is going to come over and become a positive 9x. So that's gone. Now write it in the correct order. Biggest exponent down to no exponent. So that'd be 2x to the second plus 9x plus 4. If this were an English class, that would be an incomplete sentence. What's incomplete? Equals 0. We are solving. Good. Can I take anything out here, guys? Can I factor out like a 2 or an x or anything like that? No. So the 2x to the second is going to go to a 2x and a plain x. You guys, the signs are the same. They're both positive, so I'm going to fill those in right now. The 4 could go to 4 and 1 or 2 and 2. I'm trying to add to get a 9. So it's going to be like this, 4 and 1. Because look, guys, that gives me an 8 and a 1. And 8 and 1 add to give me 9. So that's it. Am I done? No, you have to say x equals, right, because we're solving. Take 2x plus 1, set it equal to 0. The 1 comes over and becomes a negative, and then you do what? Divide by 2. Good. The x plus 4, set that equal to 0. You get a negative 4, and you're done. Easy. Okay? All right. Question B. Set it equal to 0. Done. Factor. Someone tell me what you would do. You could go immediately to difference of squares. I would do something different. I would take GCF, which is what? Mr. 1050 student. Yes. Oh, you are. Oh, you are. We're going to talk about that, Mr. Attorney 1050 boy. Okay, take out a 4. When you take out a 4, you're left with x to the second minus 4. Now, x to the second minus 4 is the difference of squares. So that goes to x plus 2 times x minus 2. Okay? So this is a 0, this is a 0, or this is a 0. But 4 is obviously not a 0. So you get x equals -2 and +2. Okay? I'm going to say something first. Is that okay? And then I'm going to come back. Okay. I want you to draw a line right there. And then underneath it, I want you to write 4x to the second minus 16 equals 0. Write down the equation again. Okay. Now we're not going to even take out the 4. We're just going to do difference of squares. So look, this factors to 2x minus 4 times 2x plus 4 equals 0. 2 times 2 is 4, x times x is x squared, 4 times 4 is 16. Set this equal to 0, the 4 comes over and becomes a positive, divide by 2. Set this guy equal to 0, the 4 comes over and becomes a negative, divide by 2. Well, that gives you x equals 2 and -2, which is exactly the same thing I got up there. So when you're solving, if you don't take out the greatest common factor, it still works. My advice is let's do it this way, but my point is if you don't take out the 4, it's still salvageable. You can still get it. Okay? Yes, honey?
Well, I was going to ask, when you have do the demonstration,
Uh-huh. One of them has to. Yeah. So,
but like on this one, it just did on B, x is equal to 2.
Okay, so I want to say something. Listen, I'm going to just be honest. I never even really understood what you were saying. But you guys are so confident, and I feel like you're so comfortable with me that she didn't even ask you. She asked me. But you guys jumped right in, and you're like, oh, here's the answer, before I could even start to understand what she was saying, right? And I think that's beautiful. I think that's perfect and beautiful and awesome. So yay for everybody involved, except me, because I didn't understand. Okay, yes.
So when you're writing the answer, do you do x equal to positive times the negative
Yeah.
over the negative?
Yeah, like that, totally acceptable. Yeah. Yeah, good question, Abigail. Okay, here we go with question number 3. Step number 1, set it equal to 0, done. Step number 2, factor. What do we do? Take out a 5 and take out an x. Awesome. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 3 x's, take out 1, you still have 2. Minus 125 divided by 5 is 25. You have an x, you take it out, it's gone, equals 0. What do I do now? Factor again, right? Difference of squares. So the 4x a second is going to go to a 2x and a 2x. One's a plus, one's a minus. What to the second gives you 25, a 5. I'm multiplying 4 things here, guys. I have 4 pieces of paper. Look, here, 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 and here. Something's got to be a 0. So 5 is not the 0. The x gives you a solution of 0. The 2x plus 5, the 5 comes over and becomes a negative. Divide by 2. 2x minus 5, 5 comes over and becomes a positive. Divide by 2. There's your answer. Okay? Who says this is easy? I'm awesome at this. Okay, yay. Question D. Step number 1, set it equal to 0. Do not put the stuff on the right-hand side, okay? Put it on the left, please. So go 2x to the second minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. factor. So it goes to a 2x and a plain x. Don't forget the equals 0. Signs are the same, they're both negative. 1 and 1 multiply to give me 1. Okay, now that was so quick and easy, I feel a little nervous, so I'm just going to check it. So this would give me negative 2x and negative 1x, and that gives me negative 3x, so I know I'm good. Okay, set this equal to 0. The 1 comes over and becomes a positive, divide by 2. Set that equal to 0, I get a 1, and I'm done. Okay? All right, question E. Okay, I know this is random, and I know I'm really pushing the lab, but I'm telling you, students that have had the lab, it's phenomenal. You know how sometimes you have to go home and watch videos and learn them yourself? You with me? When you take the lab, I actually teach that during the lab. So you don't ever watch videos at home. You can learn it during the lab. So anyway, I was just daydreaming there for a minute. Okay, bring those over to the left. So you have x to the third plus 4x to the second minus x minus 4 equals 0. So I look at this guy and I'm like, this is kind of weird. What makes this weird? You have 4 terms, right? And it's a cubed, right? So here's how you do it. It's really so simple. Look right here. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Here's the way that I think is the easiest. See the x to the third? You're going to split it to an x to the second and an x to the first. Okay? Look right here. You're supposed to have a 4x squared. So whatever goes right there is going to get multiplied by the x squared, and I need a positive 4x squared. So that must be a plus 4. I need a minus x. Here's my x. Whatever's right there is multiplied by the x, so that must be a negative 1, like that. Okay? And then I always just take a quick second and I double check that this number actually worked out right. So is a negative 1 times a positive 4 a negative 4? Yes. Okay? Now this, can anybody tell me what to do now? Factor again is exactly right. The x to the second minus 1 goes to x plus 1 times x minus 1, and you still have the x plus 4. So this is a negative 1. This is a positive 1. Like Abigail said, if you want to write that as plus or minus 1, that's great. The x plus 4 gives you a negative 4, and you're done. Okay? This problem, you can check your answer on all these problems. How would you check your answer once you've got it? Plug it back in, and if you plug it back into the original, the left should be the same as the right. If you plug it onto here, then you should get a 0. Okay, whichever one you want. Okay, question F, and then we're done. Okay, step number 1, set it equal to 0. So you have 6x to the second minus 21x minus 12 equals 0. Okay, there's really a lot of options of what we could do next. What would you do? I know what I would do. What would you do? I would take out a 3 because it's going to make the factoring easier if I do that. So if I take out a 3, I'm left with 2x to the second minus 7x minus 4 equals 0. Then I factor it. So the 2x to the second is going to split to 2x and a plain x. Please don't forget your equals 0. The 4 could go to a 4 and a 1 or a 2 and a 2. I'm subtracting and I want to get a 7. So if I put a 4 there and a 1 there, I get an 8 and a 1, which subtracts to give me 7. So that's totally it. The biggest should be the negative, which is the 8. So the negative goes there and the positive goes there. Okay, now I have 3 things, here, here, and here. Does the 3 on the outside give me a solution of x equals 0? No. Okay, everybody listen, this is sometimes messes people up. The 3 is never going to be a 0. So is this correct? No matter what's out there, I can always ignore it because it's never going to end up giving me a value of x. Is that true or is that false? Everybody listen, I'm going to say it again. Okay, stop writing for me, okay? True or false? No matter what's out here, I can always disregard it because it will never give me a solution for x, true or false? False, but the 3 didn't give me anything, so how is that false? If there's an x out there, then it's going to give me a 0. Good. 2x plus 1, set it equal to 0. 1 comes over and becomes a negative. Divide by 2. X minus 4 gives me a positive 4, and I'm done. Okay? How do you guys feel? Who says, I'm awesome? Let's see. Raise your hand. Let me see. Give me feedback. Only half of you. Don't lie, though. Okay, great. Look at the time.